Hello. So I have decided to do the mid-year book tag. And because I am busy and life is chaotic and I'm chaotic, I have all my notes on my phone and I'm recording on my phone. So prepare for chaos. All right. So the first question is best book you've read so far this year. And that is 2 books because I'm not gonna just pick one. The River Has Roots and Theseus and the Sky Labyrinth. But also, I made a video about all of my favorite books that I've read so far this year, so if you want to check that out for my real full list of favorites. Alright, next question. Best sequel you've read. So technically it's A Prayer for the Crown Shy by Becky Chambers, but since I also read the first book this year, I'm gonna add a second one in there. So, The Silkies Curse by Vivian Nash was another fantastic sequel I read this year. Next question. New release you haven't read, but want to. Wayward Souls by Susan J. Morris. I read the first book a couple years ago and absolutely loved it. I cannot wait for the second one. And next question is most anticipated release for the second half of the year. Again, I can't keep it to one. So, Books, Coffee, and a Side of Dragons by Amanda Lovelace. And Scorpion Deep by C.G. Drews. Okay, biggest disappointment would be Untethered Sky by Fonda Lee. I heard it hyped, so I picked it up and was not a fan of the writing. It just was too telly. And biggest surprise. I think that would have to be Of Monsters and Mainframes. We picked it for our book club, and I was kind of burned out, so I was like, I'm not gonna read this one this time. And then everybody was talking about how great it was. I was like, alright, fine, I'll give it a chance. And I wound up loving it. It was so fun and adventurous and ridiculous, and it was just a great time. Favorite new author, either debut or new to you. Either John Wiswell or Becky Chambers. Alright, newest fictional crush. Now, I haven't had a fictional crush in the longest time. I almost didn't have one for this, but at the end of June, I read Theseus and the Sky Labyrinth, and Theseus is amazing. And so my answer is Theseus. And the next question is favorite new character. I'm gonna go with Mosscap from A Psalm for the Wild Bill. A book that made you cry. I Feel Awful Thanks by Laura Pickle, and also The River Has Roots by Amal El-Mohtar, and I had a third one on here, but I don't remember it, so we're just going with those 2. And a book that made you happy. A Psalm for the Wild Bill by Becky Chambers. Most beautiful book you bought this year. That would have to be What Moves the Dead. The cover is gorgeous, and then I got an edition that has artwork on the naked hardcover and then on the end papers. So, yeah. Alright, and most anticipated reads for the rest of the year. Grey Dog by Elliot Gish, and I really want this to be the year that I read The Jasmine Throne by Tasha Suri, and Brighter Than Scales, Swifter Than Flame by Neon Yang, and The Listeners by Maggie Stiefvater. And some bonus questions from Tori over at Tori Talks. What series do you want to finish this year? Feybound. I don't remember who it's by. I read the first book a couple years ago and loved it, and I'm really looking forward to the rest of the trilogy, and the last book comes out this year, so it's the perfect time to finish it. And the last question, cinnamon roll character you want to adopt. And I'm gonna go with Dex from A Psalm for the Wild Build. They are just so sweet and caring, and they're fantastic. Alright, that is it. I hope you enjoyed this chaotic mid-year tag. I will see you in the next one. Bye.